Coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind, we'll introduce to you MHS's second ever Wells Scholar and show you a former MHS student who's looking for love on reality TV.
And in sports, we'll have a closer look at the new football coach and have highlights from a record-setting night in girls basketball. Good morning, MHS. I'm Andrew Walker.
And I'm Joey Marketan, and we'll have all that and more coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind.
MHS has a Wells Scholar this year. Senior Abby McLean was just awarded the full ride scholarship to Indiana University. The Wells Scholarship covers tuition, room and board, book fees, a $25,000 scholarship for a study abroad program, and another stipend for a research project and an internship over the summer. McLean credits both the science and foreign language departments for her interest and future studies.
So I want to major in biology and Spanish with a focus on research for biology, hopefully being able to combine Spanish and biology in Central or South America doing research, possibly related to environmentalism. I'm not quite sure yet, but hopefully I still have time to figure that out.
McLean is just the second MHS student to receive the scholarship. The university only awards around 20 Wells scholarships each year. McLean says she is excited for the next 4 years and is grateful for the opportunity Indiana University has given her.
A former MHS student has recently taken a step into the spotlight of reality TV, and as Haley Parnell tells us, she just might be looking for love in the process.
Kristen Whitney was a student in MHS Rewind when she was in high school.
Over the past few weeks.
The first short film that she produced was The Bachelor. Now, 9 years later, she is actually appearing as a contestant on the show.
I'm from Martinsville, Indiana.
The Bachelor is a reality TV series where one man goes on dates with different women to find one woman that he wants to marry. The girls he chooses from have to go through casting calls to be in the running.
With Nick, and actually out of all that, we're going to pick one of you ladies.
In an email interview, Whitney said her sister was actually the one to sign her up for the show.
Scream, give me a rose.
After many callbacks and the first meeting, she is still in the running for The Bachelor, Nick Vile's heart. Then in the second week, Whitney got even more airtime after a fellow contestant confided in her with a secret from her past. Last week, Whitney enjoyed a group date while dancing with the Backstreet Boys in a concert.
I grew up with the Backstreet Boys.
She said, "The experience was an absolute blast. The girls were amazing, the producers were wonderful. It was a constant high." Aside from her spotlight on the big screen, Whitney recently took a job in digital media in Nashville. And she tells us she will be pursuing acting and doing some work in the music industry on the side. You can follow Whitney's journey on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Whitney got her start in TV and film here in this room in Rewind. Her dream is to act or host a TV show. If Whitney doesn't get engaged to Nick at the end of this season of The Bachelor, you just might catch her on Bachelor in Paradise. For MHS Rewind, I'm Haley Parnell.
Work has started on some upgrades to the high school. Zachary Olson talked with Principal Dr. Nick Sears about the $2 million worth of changes planned for MHS.
If you keep an eye open, you'll start to notice a few changes that are happening around the school. The most noticeable are work sites located all around the outside of the building. Those sites are there because the school is getting brand new siding.
One of the needed improvements was really the appearance, the aesthetics of the high school.
The entire outside of the high school will be redone with new panels. These panels will go over top of existing siding and will provide additional insulation. The new panels will run horizontally instead of vertically, and some will be the school colors, red and blue. Another change that will happen to the outside of the school is the signage on the building. The area where you see Martinsville High School in brown letters will be replaced by professional backlit 3D signage in the school colors. And the letters that say John R. Woodham Gymnasium will be replaced as well. The school also plans to add a huge M at the end of the auxiliary gym and replace the windows on the second floor. The school also plans some changes to the inside of the building. They are planning on adding air conditioning in the gymnasium and auxiliary gym and replacing the gym floor. They are also looking at improving the science labs and improving the auditorium.
They just started construction here a few weeks ago, and it will continue on for quite a while.
For MHS Rewind, I'm Zachary Olson.
MHS hosted the DECA District 11 and 12 competition last week. DECA prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs for careers in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management in high schools and colleges around the globe. That's part of the preface to the Indiana DECA Policies and Procedures Manual. And students from Martinsville put their skills to the test against students from 3 other schools last week during the district competition at Martinsville High School.
It provides a chance for the students to display their knowledge that they've learned in the classroom, that they've learned maybe in a part-time job situation, and really kind of put it to test against others to see how they are doing.
Janice Brown is the executive director of Indiana DECA.
The takeaway is very, very good in that they're receiving feedback from those judges and comments of what they can do to take it to the next level.
MHS business teacher and DECA advisor Matt Hankins agrees.
Personally, I think they got a chance to see what it's like in a mock role play situation with an employer. I think that will benefit them once they graduate from Martinsville High School for future endeavors at college and then on to the workforce.
Martinsville switched DECA districts this year, and that switch gave MHS a chance to host the district competition.
I think holding the competition here at our school this year was a really good experience for MHS because usually we go to Brownsburg High School and there's a lot more students there, so it's kind of intimidating, but having it at our school gave us kind of a home advantage.
And MHS students made the most of the homeschool advantage, taking home many awards.
And in first place, from Martinsville, Bo Weston and Alexis Second.
The Artesians captured 14 golds and 9 silvers, and all 23 of them are going to state. Hankins will be retiring at the end of the year, but he hopes the new DECA advisor will want to continue to host the district competition for years to come.
Now let's turn our attention to Artesian athletics. Even though it's the winter sports season, the MHS football team is making headlines with the hiring of a new head coach. The school hired former University of Oklahoma player Carter Whitson to lead the team next year. Whitson spent the last 6 years at Indiana University working for the football program and was the senior director of recruiting for the past 2 seasons. Whitson attended the University of Oklahoma, where he was a football letter winner, played in multiple College Bowl games, and earned academic All-Big 12 honors. Whitson also won a state championship in high school in Oklahoma, playing for his father as the team's starting quarterback. Former IU quarterback Xander Diamont tweeted after the hire, "Easily one of the better coaches I've had in my career. Even better person. They're getting one really good high school football coach." In a press release, MHS Athletic Director Kip Staggs said, quote, "His experiences as a player and coach at college football's highest level will be valuable as our football program moves forward." It was a record-setting night for the girls basketball team at Decatur Central a couple weeks ago. Meredith Deckard broke the school record for three-pointers in the game, hitting 8. The junior nailed 4 in the first half and 4 more in the second, including the record-breaking one in the fourth quarter. Jessica Breeden held the old record with 7. Deckard led the way for the Artesians with a game-high 28 points. Kayana Traylor added another 20, and Christina Alexander had a double-double with 10 points and 13 rebounds as the Artesians demolished the Hawks 77-24. The girls are now 15-4 on the season and have won 7 games in a row. They are back on the court tomorrow afternoon at the John R. Wooden Gym against Noblesville.
The boys basketball team traveled to Bloomington North on Friday to battle the Cougars. Senior Levi Chandler led the Artesian offense with 17 points, including 14 in the second half. And sophomore Tyler Stead hit 5 three-pointers, but it wasn't enough as the Artesians fell to the Cougars. Martinsville will be back in action tonight at home against the other Bloomington school, the South Panthers, in their annual battle for the old shaving mud. Martinsville Swimming and Diving hosted the Whiteland Warriors last week, and as Annie Keister tells us, they plan to use the experience to improve themselves before their upcoming sectional meet.
The Martinsville boys and girls swimming and diving team fell to the Whiteland Warriors in their meet last week. However, it was a successful meet for a few individual swimmers. Madeline Miller got first in the 100-yard back and second in the 50-yard free. Senior Riley May finished second in the 200 and 500-yard free.
I think I did pretty well. Not as great as I did at Mid-State, but that's kind of normal since we're not really mini tapered for this meet than we were Mid-State, so I think I did all right.
The 200-yard free relay team of Miller, May, Sadie Suter, and Mercedes DeMoss also took first. Hayslip was happy with how the girls swam tonight, but was especially impressed with freshman Miles Anderson.
For the boys, Miles Anderson stuck out tonight. He did really well in his events, 50 free, 100 free. He had a PR in the 100, and then his split on the 400 relay was very good, so he had a good night.
Anderson was proud of how he did in the pool, but felt that this meet showed what he needed to work on to better improve times for his upcoming meets.
Practicing my walls, putting in more yards and extra work to perform my tempo and endurance better.
Freshman Austin Roy took second in the 100 breast. For the divers, Brandon Burkett landed in first for the boys.
Boys did well. We're low on numbers. We had some illnesses tonight, but they pushed through, and they always give me their best, so I'm happy.
The team is using this meet to fuel their inspiration and fine-tune their techniques for the upcoming sectionals.
Yeah, we'll start taper in about probably a week and a half. I kind of just depends on where they're at, and we'll start to reduce yardage.
For MHS Rewind, I'm Annie Keister.
The Artesian wrestling team is putting the finishing touches on their season.
His body's on my body, right?
We're going to work. We'll work small, we'll work large, we're going to work, hard. We've got to turn up the heat a little bit.
And turning up the heat is exactly what the Artesians are doing this week in the basement of the Central Education Center after the Mid-State meet that took place this past weekend. Senior Keaton Fisher was the lone champion for the Artesians. Senior Ethan Runyon finished second at the Mid-State meet, and he believes in head coach Dave Contreras' plan for the Artesians to prepare for their next big meet, the sectionals.
I think we're going to pick up the intensity in our practices, focus on more things that we need to improve on.
Practice hard and just always be doing something, always be moving, just keeping a good pace, getting your heart rate up in practice, because whenever you're out there, third period, you're going to know when you've worked and when you haven't at practice.
Senior Clayton Scroggs is undefeated this season and is ranked third in the state in the 220-pound weight class. Scroggs did not wrestle at the Mid-State meet due to an illness.
But Clayton's looking good. We've got goals to be at the top of the podium, at the state meet.
Contreras has big goals for several others as well.
We have high hopes for Keaton, and our other wrestler, Ethan Runyon, we've got high hopes for him also. He's had a few ups and downs, but we're on our way back up.
The wait won't be long. Sectionals is next Saturday at Mooresville.
Students in the Advanced TV Broadcasting class, Radio and TV 2, have been learning about sound design. For the past week, they've been creating or finding all of the sound effects and music for an animated short featuring some of the characters from the open season films. The only help they had was a script for the dialogue, but they had to create and record all of the voices themselves. Here's a look at some of the finished product.
Aye, shake it, sister.
The evil spirit, they're here. Undead zombie ghost ducks from hunting seasons past.
I brought some friends.
The sound design project was part of a contest for the annual Indiana Association of School Broadcasters state competition.
If you're thinking about a career in audio production, radio, TV, film, news, or sports broadcasting, ask your counselor about signing up for Rewind. It's listed on the course selection as Radio and TV 1 or 2.
That wraps it up for this edition of MHS Rewind. For Joey Marketan, the rest of the Advanced Broadcasting class, I'm Andrew Walker.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.